I started my business and named it after my bio parents, but my in-laws keep pressuring me to switch the company name to their last name instead. I, 34F, am a cosmetic surgeon and I just opened my practice last year. Business has been doing very well, and I'm currently working out a plan to open another branch in a neighboring state, which is where my in-laws are from. My husband comes from a wealthy family, whereas my parents were immigrants and had to get their master degrees here again while already having a PhD from my home country. I barely saw my parents growing up because they were busy working so that they could house and feed us. My practice has both my mom and dad's last names as tribute. My husband is a great guy and his family is very nice, but they value different things and have weird priorities. For example, I wanted a small wedding in the US because we already had another reception in my parents' home country. My mother-in-law offered to pay for a larger wedding so that they could invite more of their friends, but I stuck to the 50 people limit because I wanted people my husband and I both knew and loved to be there. I didn't want my mother-in-law's stylist, her business partner, or their family lawyer to attend. She eventually complied and kept meddling occasionally from then on. I never changed my last name, but I unofficially am referred to as my husband's last name. At work I still use my name to not confuse my staff and patients, but also to honor my dad for everything he has done all my life. Now that I'm opening another practice, my mother-in-law wants me to use the family name as the brand. I told her it would create confusion and people might not know it was mine. I built a lot of trust, patronage and recognition using my brand, so I don't want to keep correcting people and start from the bottom in a sense. It makes perfect sense and is a smart decision business-wise. There's also some legal and extra paperwork to be done if I used a different name. She said she is so proud of me and wants to show me off, and also said how her family name is very famous around here, so I might get more patients. She also joked that she should get some royalties for that too. Their surname is an old American name that back in the day used to do bad things. I absolutely don't want to use that name. I'm Southeast Asian and my staff is ethnically diverse, and it's something I'm proud of since we do focus on ethnic and cultural aesthetics instead of the generic European aesthetics. I'm walking on eggshells here and I plan to let my husband deal with her. They always do a family dinner and I see her maybe once every 2 weeks and she always brings this up. Recently 2 of my sister-in-laws have been pestering me to do it too. Update. I read through most of the comments and rest assured, I'm never ever going to change my brand. I just wanted a soft way to tell my mother-in-law and sister-in-laws to back off. I didn't mention this, but my husband doesn't know about any of this. So many assume that he knew but just did nothing, when in reality it's my fault that I never included the information that I never told him yet. To me this is a trivial matter and I just didn't want to involve him since he is a professional too, but in a different field, and he's handling a big project at the moment, and I don't want to pile this on him. I respect and agree about those that suggested dialogues on how to tell my mother-in-law to stop bringing it up, but I wanted a way to gently tell her I won't be changing my brand as opposed to putting it harshly, and while it is, I would have definitely said that to a rude stranger but not to a close family member. Call it the Asian in me, but I don't want to be rude to her. My parents have returned to our home country to enjoy retirement, so the only family I have here is my brother who lives in Canada. My in-laws are my only family in the States and they are good people, but sometimes their entitlement does show. I let my husband know and he was mad that I didn't tell him earlier. He's a lawyer and helped me build my business. He said that he never felt like less of a man when I didn't take his name, and then he said, it wasn't me that went through med school and residency, and if I did I know for a fact that my weak butt would have tapped out early. He planned to get on a video call with my mother-in-law tonight to tell her to back off. Something I feel guilty of saying in my last post was saying European aesthetics are generic. I wrote that post quickly in an Uber and didn't properly think that through. My practice caters to all people and for each of their own very personal expectations of what they want to achieve. I owe a big apology to anyone who got offended. And yes, I do have a prenup.